We're back here in our Studio 10 kitchen with Lucy Greer from Greer's Markets, and we're finishing up the mini meatball, kale, and white bean soup. And the smell and the aroma is fantastic, Lucy.
Good, thank you. Yes, we have been working on our soup, and we started off with some carrots, onion, and celery, just sauteed that, added a little bit of garlic and some salt and pepper, and then we added a can of diced tomatoes with the juice, a can of tomato sauce, and 6 cups of chicken broth. Then we brought that up to a boil, and I added that big pile of kale, which is 16 ounces, so a bag of it or 2 bunches, and I just ripped that up. And as you can see, just like spinach and just like we talked about, it just shrunk down to nothing.
It did. You told me it would, and it really has. Because if you watched at the start of the hour, I mean, that pile was about taller than the pot.
Yeah, I know.
It was big.
It's interesting. So we talked about having kale. This is a great way to introduce it into your diet, cooking it this way. Or you could use spinach. And then we worked on our meatballs, and I have them all rolled up. I started with a pound of turkey, and I added an egg, 3 green onions, and I added half a cup of some grated Parmesan cheese, and then we just spiced it up a little bit with some garlic powder, some crushed red pepper flakes, and some salt and pepper and oregano. So I rolled those up, and you'll get 32 to 36 little meatballs out of that pound. And I mentioned that we can cook them 2 ways. We could put them in the oven, and you would cook them at about 350. They'd probably take 20 or so minutes, and then you could add them to the soup, or you could just add them to the soup direct. One of the reasons you would want to cook them in the oven is just to get some color on them, but this is the way I'm going to do it.
Okay,
so,
put them right in the pot.
Yeah, and so what we're going to do is just put them in here, and they'll all fit, and then we're gonna cover it and let it simmer for 30 minutes. And then the last thing that you do is to add your beans. I'm using cannellini beans, which is just white kidney beans, but we talked about with it being New Year's, if you wanted to make this, you could use black-eyed peas and do the same thing. So you'd have your black-eyed peas, you'd have your greens, and you'd be set.
Like you play it while you're in the kitchen, or you actually like literally have black-eyed peas? That was a joke, sorry.
Both,
it was a bad joke. Both, you can have them playing it, okay.
And so we'll just put these in here.
I noticed there were crickets in the studio. No one laughed when I said that.
Well, in your defense, there's no one in here but us.
True.
And Joe's in his own world.
Yeah, that's true. He's on his phone. Yeah, he's zoned out.
So we're getting ready for the new year. You know, the doctor was here. Everybody's talking about health, and this is a good one to kind of pull into your weeknight dinners. This is something great to cook ahead, and then that way all you have to do is heat it up, and you're ready to go for supper.
Yeah, so how long did you say you have to let these be in the pot?
We're going to cook them for 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
So the heat is just barely simmering. So I'll turn it up just a touch, and so you can just move them around, and so they don't have to be fully submerged.
Okay.
And that parm in there is going to kind of ooze out, and it's really going to help flavor the soup. So we're just going to crank it to, you know,
about
medium.
6 out of 9?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we'll put the lid on, and then at the very end, you'll just stir in your beans for a few minutes, and you'll be ready to eat.
Is that what the finished product looks like up there at the front?
Yes. So it'll be really yummy, and of course, soup or sauces or anything like that just get better the next day. So
I agree with you there.
something good to cook ahead.
And especially since we're going to be getting cold tomorrow, it's the perfect dish to start making, right?
Perfect dish to start making, yes. It's Wednesday, so of course all our ads at Greer's break today, so pick up all your stuff and get cooking.
And how many locations are we up to now in the Gulf Coast area?
We have 32 locations.
Wow.
Yes. So, and if you follow us on Facebook on Greer's Markets, we post all of our ads and everything that's going on at Greer's, and then also have a Facebook page, Lucy Greer. So please like my page, and I just post, you know, stuff about the company.
Oh,
thank you.
Yes, you did.
And you know, some personal stuff. So it's fun. I love to stay connected and hear from our customers out there.
That's awesome. So you have 32 locations. You can pick all these ingredients up at Greer's, and we'll have more information on the dish on our website, fox10tv.com. You just click on the Studio 10 tab. Lucy, it is always a real treat whenever I get to fill in for Chastity or Joe and get to be with you in the kitchen. Appreciate it. Have a happy New Year, okay?
You too. Happy New Year.
Joe?